Hello, hello.
Hey,
Welcome, everyone. What's up, Sierra? How are you?
Lauren, I'm good. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing pretty good. Welcome, everyone, to the Lions Den After Dark. I am your host, Loren Lyons, and we are back with another recap and review.
Woo! Let's get to it, girl, cause yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This was very interesting episode, but of course, first, before we get started, we do have a couple of house den rules. We will, just as a reminder, we will be talking about these characters of a show. We do not know them in our opinions of our own. While you are watching, raise your glass because we're gonna be talking some trash.
You ate that.
So let's get started. So this episode was Nick's event. And so we first start off with learning that Tasia will be making an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see his girlfriend, which is she's beautiful,
I mean,
absolutely
she's so
stunning.
cute. I loved her. She was so cute.
I absolutely like her a lot. So she's on the way. Everyone's recovering from the Freaknik party that had taken
Mhm.
place the night before.
Lit.
Um, they was lit. Okay,
They
they
was out of control.
right. And one person that was out of control was Summer because
Mhm.
Summer had a pretty much broken all the way down with alcohol and had lost control. So we finally we get a recap of, that night, and I guess and I kind of missed it, and maybe it was just me, but I missed when she pushed Noelle.
Oh no, she pushed her. Yeah, I guess you missed it. She
I
pushed
missed
her hard.
it.
It wasn't even no little. It was there was some oomph in it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I totally missed it, but she had pushed Noelle because she was upset. She was going off about like her feelings hurt and Bria, but everyone could clearly tell there was more to this. Like
Mhm.
you don't get this angry for nothing. But might I add, this is the third time Summers put her hands on someone.
Yeah, she has issues. I think that's just what it is. Cause yeah, you get alcohol, you start putting hands on people. That's a problem. That's what she just has issues, and she kills me with the whole I don't drink the next day. Oh, I don't drink. I'm not a drinker, so it's like, ma'am, you was just with you last night. Just stop it. Like,
Right. Yeah. So she's trying to redeem herself by not drinking. Of course, after a conversation that her and Noel has, but before we get to that, Nick, he does a race in the morning, which God bless him, because you just had a whole party and you get up early in the crack of dawn and go run.
right.
My God.
Yeah,
Kudos to you.
kudos. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, could not be me. But he goes, no one really joins him because again, everyone is pretty much hungover. But
Hmm.
we do get everyone's getting up pretty late. We do get a moment with Amir and Natalie. And to me, it almost seems like she doubles down on their behavior by saying things got a little too wild and it's not her vibe.
It was very coded. Yeah, it was very coded. Hmm.
Very coded. I'm like, so what do you mean by that?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I feel about Miss Natalie.
Oh, I know how I feel about Miss Natalie. Not a fan.
Ciao.
Not a fan. And I hope that is addressed at the reunion
Mm,
because you got to understand microaggressions here, Amir.
yeah.
Like, this is not cool. But we'll deep dive into Natalie a little bit later because she is now trying to integrate herself a little bit more, but
Mhm.
maybe not in the best way. But then while this is happening, Noelle and Alex are downstairs eating breakfast, and Alex asks what's going on. So Noelle updates him, And Preston comes in as well, and pretty much was like, yeah, I don't know why people are using this excuse of alcohol being a reason for their bad behavior. People
Mhm.
better, which I completely agree.
I agree.
Alcohol brings out what's already there. You
So,
should not turning into a new person. It's
right.
yeah. So, while they're talking, Summer kind of overhears them. She's eavesdropping on the conversation a little bit. And then she pulls Noelle to the side. And I feel like this conversation was very interesting for multiple reasons. I'm curious how you felt about their little conversation.
Um, I like you. I found it interesting. I'm wondering. I just I don't remember like how long they've known each other, or
I
maybe
feel like
I'm like
I think they're newer friends.
okay. It was weird to me. Like I said, I like Noelle. Like I think she handled it very well. With a friend who was really, drunk the night before. Um, but it was just weird to me because it felt like maybe like Noelle doesn't know her as much as well as I thought she did, you know?
Mm,
That's what it made me feel like maybe they weren't as close as I thought because I don't. It just. I'm not. I can't exactly put my finger on it. I'm not sure what exactly it is that just gave me that vibe. Like, how close are y'all? Like, don't you like? I don't know because this is repetitive behavior at this point, and you're just now saying something. It's like, so how long has this been going on? But I do. I mean, I respect Summer for sitting down and talking about it just instead of just pretending like it didn't happen. But although she said she doesn't remember pushing her, she did say
mm.
that, but she still apologized because I'm sure she blacked out. She could believe that she did it. Um, and I think Noelle handled it with grace. How about you?
Yeah, I think Noelle did a good job considering that she was pushed. Um, One of the things though, and it goes back to the comments that Preston and Alex did make is like at some point though we have to like if it's bad behavior and you're doing this and you're hurting someone, you can't continue to do that and keep
You keep
asking for
blaming
forgiveness
right,
and you're like actively doing something to harm someone.
right.
Like
Keep blaming the alcohol.
right, like that's a problem. So
Yeah,
I mean, I do respect the fact that she does own it and her effort in trying not to drink for that night, okay, cool. But I mean, Noelle to me pretty much really made it clear about like, listen, I understand, I'm here for you. You're going through a rough time and I'll be here for you. But I feel like she also let her know that like things changed.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I need space to really evaluate if I want this to be a friendship. And I respect it because I would as well. Because let's be real, she kind of set her up
Mm-hmm.
with the Alex situation. Then
Mm-hmm.
now you pushed like you were physical, you got physical with her. She's
Mm-hmm.
always having to calm your emotions down, which can be draining and exhausting.
For sure.
So I definitely can see why Noelle would say that. I think that's a real thing to do, but still show up in a space of like, I still care for your
Mhm.
well being.
Supporting her, yeah. Because I do agree. I do think Summer has some deeper things going on that haven't even come up on camera at all. And I think Noelle's picking up on that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So, it's going to be really interesting to see how that relationship now is going to develop because I could totally see a space where they're not friends anymore, which I
Mhm,
don't blame her.
mhm,
So, but we get that moment and then upstairs we go to Miss Messy Bria. She goes and shares what happened took place with the altercation with Jordan and Natalie. I find it very or outside. She tells them outside, but then there's another moment where Bria goes and updates Natalie.
mhm.
I found it very interesting that Bria chose to go to Natalie. I don't know, cuz it's like this is a newbie. New girl knows nothing about it. It felt like, are you trying to get her on your side a little bit? Because you know that she doesn't have a clue. I found it really odd. But of course, Natalie now is like, oh, I got some information. Goes
Right.
back and repeats it to Jordan. And I forgot who was outside at that point.
I think.
I feel like it was Preston.
Mm-hmm.
So Natalie, you know, oh, I got some drama. So she goes and tells that and everything. Well, as this is all happening, Nick comes back to the house. He goes for a run. He wants to have a house meeting with everyone. But Bria wasn't too happy about having this house meeting. She was like, what do we need to meet about? If there's something you want me to do, then just tell me. We don't need to have a meeting about it. Pretty much giving Nick.
Even a little funk. She had a little attitude.
Yeah, she did. Like, and it wasn't necessary. And I do kind of understand a little bit because it's like, if you could just tell me.
Right.
Clearly but clearly he was upset about other things as well. But she was not having it. So he told her, okay, well, this is what I need you to do. She still was not.
I was like, and I don't know if she did it. I don't think she wanted to do it. So she didn't.
Right. Yeah. And like, how did you feel about that? Because he pretty much said that he's just coming into town and he wants everything to be nice for his event. It'll be at the house. So can everybody pitch in to help clean? They had just had a party. Do you feel like Bria was wrong for not wanting to help?
Yeah, she was wrong. Because first off, you live here, you can clean up. You're a part of the group. You can clean up, and you can see how much effort Nick was putting into this event. Like he was really planned it out. Like, why can't you help out? And then you said you would help out, and then you recant it. Like, yeah, you're wrong. And I guarantee you, if it was turned and she needed some help with her, what was it, Briacella or whatever she did, she would be upset if he was just like, "Nah, I ain't trying to help or I ain't trying to do whatever." So yeah, she was wrong.
Yeah. I completely agree. I mean, like y'all, like you said, y'all, they all live there, and the least you can do is help and clean. Anyway, even if there wasn't an event, everybody should be doing their fair share. It's not fair to put it on one person. To me, it does seem like Amir does a lot of the cleaning, and I don't think that's, and there's, I think others too, but that's who I see the most. And it's not fair. Everybody should be cleaning up and doing their fair share. And I think she was just really throwing a fit.
Yeah, she was having one of her little fits. I was saying she just in a little funk and one of her fits.
Yeah.
But
But this episode we do get a lot of Nick. And I actually kind of enjoyed it, So
I was watching that. I was like, okay, Nick stepped it up because, well, we'll get into it. But yes, I also enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do. He first starts off in this conversation with his house meeting. Should I say, pretty much checking everybody. Like, you all did not come and support me. Tell me congratulations that I went and did this run. And, this is very important to me. And I feel like I would have liked more support.
Valid. Okay. Got it. That's valid.
Valid. Yeah. Summer, was it? No, it wasn't Summer. It was Noelle who was like, Nick, in her confessionals, was like, Nick, we just left a party. Everyone was hungover.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I'm saying the congratulations. You can say congratulations when they get back.
Yeah.
I'm not saying y'all needed to go support her because everybody was toe up. There's no reason to be outside at that time. But if you found out, congrats, everybody, make them feel, supported. I don't feel like you had to physically be there, but that's why I said valid on Nick's part.
Yeah. I totally agree. They could have at least been like, all right, congrats. Sorry we couldn't make it because we are, but good job and everything, and at least show support in that way. But he was upset about it, but he still was like, he still wants today to be a good day. So he gave everybody their own assignments on how to prepare for today's event. He wanted everything to go nice and well because Tasia especially was coming into town. He also talks about in his confessionals that he wanted to make a better impression because the last time it was not the best. And then it shows a flashback when Bria pretty much snitched and told like, hey, your boyfriend is not acting like your boyfriend. So he says that Tasia's bringing her sister with her to have a safety net. that was interesting
I
for
get it.
multiple reasons.
A wingman. I get it. I think, I don't know. I think when you're bringing him as a guy, bringing his girl, who doesn't know this group of girls to a house to stay with like a group of girls and you don't really know them, you only know your man. Yeah, I would want one of my girlfriends too. Like, yeah, can I bring? So I get that. I guess from my perspective, I would get it. Not to say
Yeah,
that she's gonna have beef with other girls, but you would feel more comfortable just having someone that you knew rather than just being alone in this big group of girls and then it's just your boyfriend, you know.
right. Especially when one of the girls is like, "So let me tell you about what your man's doing."
Right.
It's a little suspicious, like
Mhm.
and off-putting. But at the same time, it's like, Nick, you weren't appropriate yourself. Like
Yeah.
some of that was also on you to blame. And I thought it was very interesting and I thought it was coded. And I'm kind of going, jumping ahead here a little bit. But,
Mhm.
when he talks about Tasia, he said, what did he say about Tasia that I thought was really interesting? Oh, he said she's smart, kind, and gives grace because he's not always perfect. And that felt so coded to me
Mhm.
that
Yeah. Men love saying how perfect they are, like how they're not perfect. Like we don't know they're not perfect. Like they love that's I'm not perfect. I'm not like, yeah.
he gives me grace.
They want you to know they're not perfect. So when they mess up, you're not surprised. That's what
Correct.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, that comment was very coded, meaning you're not faithful and you don't respect boundaries. So we also have to take accountability on that part, Nick.
Right. You orchestrated a lot of this.
Yeah. Yeah. So so we get that moment. She finally does arrive. Summer says she's not drinking like we talked about earlier. Bree is still going off.
Can we pause there? No one
Yes.
is asking her, and she's just voluntary. I'm not drinking. I don't know if you noticed how many times she said it. She said it multiple times. Like I'm like, who's asking this girl to take a drink? In fact, I think if your friend saw you drinking, turning up after how you were last night, I think we would all be looking at you like, take it slow, take it easy. So anyway, I'm sorry, continue because it was blowing my mind. Like I'm not drinking, I'm not drinking, I'm not drinking. I'm like, no one's asking you to drink, but go ahead.
Right. She tried to make it so like I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have a problem. That's what it
Yeah.
gave a little bit here. But she gives that announcement out. But with that, it was shared. I believe it was Natalie. Yes, it was Natalie who I think shared to Preston and Jordan. You're right. It was about the click thing, about the click comment, where she pretty much said that it was sometimes overwhelming to be friends with Preston and Jordan because they're all going through something and she just wants to have some lighthearted fun and not everything be so heavy. So we first get Jordan who confronts her and then Preston later on in the night. I felt like
Mhm.
they did a good, nice job of handling the situation.
I agree. I agree.
No. I'm not saying I disagree with how they handled it, because I think that's real. Like, if you are going through something, or sometimes it can be a lot. When your friends are going through something, you're going through something, and you just want to, have moments to have fun. I do feel like Summer should have communicated that.
Yeah, tell your friends, look, I'm going through something tough. I need this to be a safe space. I just need to have fun, not heavy. And your friends, if they're your friends and they want to support you and they know you, they will be like, okay, they'll do their best to provide that space to you. So yeah, Summer definitely needs to do better communication on her part.
Oh
Because
yeah,
they're very understanding and like they obviously love her, care a lot about her. So
yeah, and I they definitely would have listened to her, and I think that they would have. That's not a hard ask. What we've seen, that Summer has a serious problem with communication
mhm.
throughout the entire season, but you can say, I mean, I think they did have a lot of grace. I think if I were to see a pattern of Summer doing something like this, then I would have to look at her side eye, to be quite honest with you,
Yeah.
because it is like friendships are not going to always be sunshine and rainbows. Like if we're going to be friends and we have true friendships is when we going through some deep stuff, and
Mhm.
we got to be able to be there for each other even when it's not happy go lucky.
Mhm.
So I think that you out like we have to understand like friends is not just that, friendships. But I think that they both handled it pretty well, and they were there for her. They were concerned for her, and I thought that was really good to see on this episode too. Someone who's having a hard time, and you see friends genuinely being there and supporting one another. So, I thought that was good. We did get a moment with Bria talking to Jordan about the Summer situation, and Summer overhears them and walks up, and Bria, she's like, do you want to talk about it? And she's like, oh no, I don't want to talk about it now, and keeps talking about her, and it's like, I just don't want to talk to her right now. But you gonna keep talking behind her back?
Yeah, it's weird, but I'm not surprised.
She gets me.
I
She gets me.
know she does. I know she does, girl. Take a sip. It's all right.
Shoot.
Mm.
Lord Jesus. But in the midst of this, we find out that Natalie's favorite drink is, or the only drink, excuse me, that she drinks is 94 Casa Azul.
I didn't know that. I guess I missed that one.
Whoop de doo. You know,
Okay.
thanks for sharing that. That's the only alcohol you drink.
All right.
Okay. um, Mariah arrives at the house.
Yes, I saw that. Yes, I was happy to see her finally in the house.
Amazing. I mean, because remember, she wasn't allowed to come to the house, her or Phil.
Mm-hmm.
So Mariah arrives. She's looking
Yes.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She arrives and she sees a mirror. You can tell that there's tension still there. And so Mariah pulls him to the side and was like, yeah, I want to talk to you about it a little bit. Amir was automatically annoyed because he's like, listen, this was a year ago.
I mean, yeah, I do agree. It's a year ago, and the whole situation is dumb from the beginning. So
Yes.
I do want us to be done talking about this. I'm ready to put
For
this.
sure.
Yeah, this is done.
Yeah. It absolutely was. And I see both sides, right? I see both sides. But I thought what was really interesting, this whole conversation was very interesting. So I definitely want your thoughts on it. But she says, I don't know why you would think that's okay. She thought, she feels like he did it intentionally, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
and was like, as a realtor, you understand home etiquette. And why would you think that was okay to do something like that and put dog clothing in the laundry? And so Amir, clearly annoyed, is like, listen, I will apologize for not owning my part in the situation. But he said, however, your reaction was your responsibility, and you didn't have to respond that way. That's not on me. So what are you looking for from me? So I agree with that. And I think it's really like done.
Yeah, it's dumb, and it's if I wasn't me, I would be like, all right, I'm sorry. Just before you even go that far, sorry. Just like, can you shut up about it? Like, it's so dumb now.
Right. I just, yeah. It's old and tired. I mean, but from one perspective though, I will give it with Mariah is it if I'm, on the outskirts of not maybe being on the show fully, I mean, it is a good way if I know, okay, I want to make my presence known on the show again, to come and, have a conversation. Because it happened online. I mean, it happened in person. We did want to know why did Amir not speak up and say something? So from that perspective, strategically, I can kind of understand. It's like, okay, Mariah, I see you trying to ease your, still trying to clock in a little bit, but it is old and tired, and it's about literally laundry.
Yeah, I actually think she could do anything else more interesting than that. You could do. You're bringing us back to drama from season one, like literally, like early episodes. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what's going on?
It's over with and tired. And I feel like especially because if the clothes are being cleaned, it's like
Yeah.
it okay. Like, what are we really arguing
That's
here?
like it's all so dumb. It's so dumb. Like,
Like if he was cleaning the clothes, and I think that was wild to be like, you're a realtor, you should understand home etiquette.
she was reaching. It was a reach. Plenty of realtors don't know home etiquette.
But but it's like, what does that have to do?
And I don't even know where she got that from. Like I said, she was reaching. Just
Yeah. But it also was like, I want to see more Mariah.
right.
Like, I do. I absolutely do. We're gonna carry on like this.
She'd be a good addition for sure.
And I still stand on that Phil and her are absolutely needed for
Mhm.
the show. Excuse me. Goes outside and he talks to the men about it, and he's just frustrated because he's like, why, why don't you want to bring this up? This is so dumb. And Nick is literally us and is like, listen, it happened a year ago. Just
Right.
let it die.
Right.
So conversation is over. He moves on. It's done. Then Jordan comes or arrives from downstairs getting dressed. We get another um where she talks about what she's been in as far as magazines. She's been in Vogue. One thing about it is Miss Jordan is definitely going to keep talking about what her resume.
Mhm.
So we got that. It was like, okay, Jordan, we get it. We get it. And the party's different. It's more like relaxed, upscale at first, Bria, Noelle, and Shanice, who like to party, are a little bored.
Mhm.
And then we get that moment where Preston addresses Summer about her comments. He, again, like we talked about, gives really good support and said, like, if you're overwhelmed, you should have communicated that. We're your friends. We're going to be there for you. And so that, like we talked about earlier, that was a good conversation that was had. They, I think, did a good job as friends
Yeah.
in giving her grace in that moment. So we get a very interesting scene after this where Noelle's line sister comes to the party and she is wearing something very similar to Jordan.
Mm.
I could totally see how he maybe thought it was Jordan, or Amir thought it was Jordan.
Mhm.
Because their outfit was really close. The difference was the hair. And I don't think at that moment he had seen Jordan walk down the stairs. Well, when the friend passed him, he was like, whoa, is that Jordan? And he goes, oh, okay. No. I thought that was Jordan. Because she has really nice different wigs on.
Mhm.
Natalie loses it. What did you think about that?
Oh my! I actually cannot remember this part. I'm like, wait, when did this happen?
Whew.
When did I miss something huge? When was this? This was before Nick's speech?
Yes.
Oh, I missed it. You have to tell me what happened, girl.
Natalie, he's like, what's wrong? And she was like, why would you Jordan? Like, why would you say that about Jordan? What like you were like, oh, is that Jordan? Like, why were you looking for Jordan? He goes, no, I thought that was Jordan because she switches up her wigs, and that's all I was saying. Oh, okay. You got a new wig on. Like, he was like, why are you getting mad? So then she moves on, like she's fine.
Girl.
But Natalie was about to
Because she
get
don't trust him. You see what happened when you don't trust your man? You're reading deep into every little thing. This man can't even have friends. He can't even have friends.
I
Child.
said it last week and I say it again. If Jordan literally wanted to be with him,
She would have him. 100%. She'd have him right now. So be grateful. You got your man. He doesn't want him.
like what?
Child.
It's just I would be embarrassed. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, girl, it was weird. It was so weird. And it's again like, why are you so like you are so threatened by Jordan?
Mhm.
And one thing about it is I ain't gotta agree with Jordan all the time. I don't, but I'ma stand behind a black woman. That's one thing I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand behind her. I'm gonna stand behind her. And that's weird. That's real weird
Yeah.
behavior. But then we get to the very touching moment of Nick where he opens up about the loss of his line brother and what the number 5 number means to him and how he's been seeing that as an omen now when there's races and in different situations in life. And I thought that was a really beautiful moment.
It was very sweet, very touching.
I thought that it was really good to see that genuine moment from him. Um, in a recap with Carlos King and Jasmine, they did talk about how they liked Nick in that he shows a different perspective of a black male that you don't really see on television.
Yeah,
And I have to agree I have to agree on that.
I agree too.
That it is different. And I do love that like all the men are so diverse, but they still get along and they're really tight with one another.
Yeah,
You don't get to see that on black shows
yeah,
anymore, really.
yeah,
And so I really appreciated that and like this moment to get more on Nick. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah. I agree for sure. Really like seeing Nick in a different light. Made me appreciate him a little bit more. Definitely.
I still need him to bring it a little bit more.
No,
Figure out his
get him
footing.
out the hot seat. You're still on the chopping block in my book. But I did like seeing that.
So
Yeah.
we get
Sorry, just be honest.
oh Lord Jesus. But
Being
I will say at his party, he has some beautiful, beautiful men at that party. I'm like, I need to be coming to these type of parties. My
I
God.
just say I loved his party. It felt like homecoming. Like looking at it, it just really, and I loved how it was like you could tell it was lit, but they weren't like sloppy. Like they were lit. They was having a good time. It felt like grown folk fun. Like it was really cute. I really loved it. It felt like a reunion. I wanted to be there. I was like, dang, like this party look lit. I want to be at this party.
I definitely want to be there.
See some old college friends.
Why? Okay.
Shimmy in, like, oh, we got a whole D9 education.
And that was so beautiful. I thought that was really good for production to give us that a history on strolling in Divine Nine. I thought that was really good. To gather that important history and explain why.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that whole scene was really, really beautiful, really
Yeah,
nice.
that was
I
that's
agree.
one of my favorite part of the episode was the party. I loved it.
Yes, because I wanted to go.
Me too, girl. Like, come on, let's throw a
I'm
party.
like, y'all need to send an invite or something because I'll be there.
Like, imagine, like, okay, we're getting off topic, but imagine like a HBCU, like upscale event, like for people from HBCUs. I guess this would be really big. Actually, never mind, because even homecoming alone is like a huge event. So
Yeah.
a bunch of HBCUs homecomings that would be like
Ooh.
so I should never scratch that. Yeah,
But
but
I do think FAMU goes like alumni goes to Martha Vineyard.
really,
Mm-hmm.
let me get some money, start vacationing in Martha's Vineyard.
I know. I think they posted it last year. I'm like, I need to come.
Hey, step my coins up.
Right. Maybe it's around the time they film. I don't know.
You never know, girl. You get a
Because
show.
I go to a party, okay. But Amir wanted to cross, which that was not surprising. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it wasn't.
That they had to educate him, like, you can't cross the line now. You're gonna get snatched.
Mhm.
But while they're doing this, Phil shows up and Summer leaves. Not because of Phil. She's
Mhm.
not drinking, so she goes.
He's like, I'm called tonight. Which honestly, yeah, good idea. Go. It was a great idea. I tell you last night. Yeah, you on punishment.
Yeah. it was not a problem.
Good night.
Yeah. But Phil shows up, he's working in the room and everything. He's there, he's chilling. Not too much excitement from him. But
Mhm.
what I can tell you did give some excitement was Mr. Simon. So Simon says, in this moment, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna put on this floaty of a
Child.
flamingo, and I'm gonna come downstairs. And it felt like it was a moment where he made it about himself. But
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
hear what you gotta say.
I totally agree. And looking at the little, production put in the little flashbacks with all the moments where he's kind of just does something really wildly outlandish at the parties. It's like, oh, you need attention. And this is what this is. You want attention. And it was honestly so annoying. And I feel Bria with why she was so annoyed. I think she could have handled it better. But
1000%.
it's like here we are. We're all like, you see all these beautiful black people, educated. We're being classy, like we all look good, we're dressed to the T, we're enjoying each other's company, we're fellowshipping. And here comes the white buffoonery. And that's your man, Bria. That's your man. Like, yeah, it was very cringy to watch as audience member. I don't know why Bria's with Simon anymore. I think I kind of see through. I was already getting vibes from him, but I think that kind of showed me like, oh, like this is a clown. Like he's a clown.
I completely agree with everything that you're saying. And what you brought up was what I was gonna say.
Girl, we both felt it. We both felt it. That's why. Like,
It 1000% gave, like, I'm white, I'm getting white trashed, like wasted.
mm-hmm.
But not only that, like I'm in a black space
I'm
and I
uncomfortable.
can't allow them to keep the attention. I need to be the center of attention.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And because it was completely unnecessary. And it was like, what would make you think
It
as a
wasn't the
grown
vibe
man
at all. It wasn't the vibe. You didn't read the
at,
room.
at all? And it's like, you are an older man. Like, I believe he's the oldest in the whole house, if I'm not mistaken. What would make you go and do something like that? Like, it was so very much like, I'm white and I need to be the center of attention in this beautiful black space.
So y'all strolling?
And
Oh, y'all strolling? Y'all stepping? Y'all strolling? All right, I got something. That's what it felt like. Yeah.
yeah. And it was really like disturbing. And I mean, it was to the point where, like you said, Bria couldn't even ignore it as
Mm-hmm.
a person dating, someone who's not
Yes.
black. You couldn't ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a clear moment of, oh, mm.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't get it.
And but of course it wouldn't be Bria's nature to take it from already at a 7 to a 15.
Right.
So that whole moment became so dramatic. She was like, if you don't stop it, I'm gonna break up with you. Cut it out. And repeatedly said that throughout the night. How do you feel? Well, yeah, how do you feel about how Bria handled this situation?
I think she handled it terribly. I mean, but to her defense, it is a difficult situation to be in. I think alcohol is also involved once again, to try and get your, turn them down and be like, you're really being inappropriate here. This is the time of the place. You're embarrassing me. How to say that gracefully without being angry at the fact that you're even in this situation. And yeah, so I think she did the best that she could do in that moment. But it could have been handled better for sure.
Oh yeah, most Bria situations can be handled better.
In fact, all of them.
Wouldn't be Bria. But yeah, like I a couple episodes ago we were talking about like how long do we see them lasting. They are a very toxic couple
Hmm.
because they get alcohol, because last season they did this. it was something similar. They got alcohol, they had a whole big blow up.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's very telling about how manipulative Bria can be by, even in a situation where you maybe don't like your partner's behavior, that you'll threaten to break up with them.
Yeah,
Like, you'll
that was
threaten,
wild on her part, for
I'm
sure.
leaving you, I'm breaking up with you, get out. Like,
Yeah, she's childish. It was childish too.
extremely childish. And the comfortability of that tells me, like, oh yeah, y'all are not
Yeah,
gonna
y'all,
last long.
yeah.
This is a very toxic relationship, because you can disagree with the behavior and we can all agree that it was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but I like, don't make it worse. And they, to me, bring out the worst in each other,
Yeah,
especially when alcohol is involved.
I completely agree.
So, that moment happens and it blows up even the more. She gets to the point where she's kicking him out, which we'll see how real that will be next episode.
Right.
And then we get an interesting moment where Natalie has buddied up with the significant others. So this is Tasia and Preston's
Yeah. Well, I can't
fia-
remember his name, but yeah, his
yeah,
fiance.
uh,
Mhm.
his fiance Donald. I think it was Donald.
Yes,
Donald.
Donald. Mm-hmm.
She's partnered up with them, or they've came up to her, and then she's now spilling tea on what's going on yet again with
Mm-hmm.
Bria. And then, like, just jumping ahead a little bit, we do see in the preview, or in next week's episode, that she seems to now be the center point of attention in spilling to Tasia what Nick has been doing in the house,
Mm.
and is going and, talking drama.
Little messy boots.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. We need some
I
fresh
find it,
drama.
yeah, I find it very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it's like you're too good to connect with him and party with him, but you're not too good to talk and spill the drama around him.
Yeah, yeah. I see. I already know what type of girl she is. I can see what type of girl she is. Mm-hmm.
What type of girl is she?
She uppity. She thinks she too good. Mm-hmm. She thinks she better. That's all that
She's
is. And you're not. And she's not.
not at all. Not at all. She's a mean girl.
Yeah, it's definitely giving mean girl. It's definitely
And it's
girl. I think I'm prettier than everybody. Yeah, everybody wants my man. Okay, girl. Okay, girl.
yeah. So that's going to be very interesting next week to see that play. And then
Mhm.
also, I think the fact that, and I'm speaking early on this because I'll probably repeat it next week, but you weren't here for any of that. So why are you even the one
Exactly.
to talk about it?
Yeah, messy. Messy.
So she can go. Like, she can go.
I'm over her. But I'm ready to see how she stir up the pot.
I am. Okay, yeah. I want to see this play. And it would be beautiful if, like, Jordan just, okay, I want a moment between her and Jordan. I
Yeah,
do. Right
yeah.
now, they're just kind of passing. I
Avoiding
need
each
a moment.
other. Mm-hmm.
I want
Yeah.
a
Let's
moment.
put it all out on the table. Let's lay it all out.
I need a moment. That would just be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we've recapped, now we're going to get into our ratings. So for those who are watching, what we like to do here on Lions in After Dark is rate each character on the show, or each cast member on the show, 1 through 5, based on how we feel, how they performed this episode. What are
Mm-hmm.
they bringing? Are they just annoying us, or are they driving the storyline? So
Let's get
me let's get into it, and everyone feel free to drop it in the comments if you agree with our ratings, disagree, feel differently. We love to hear what you have to say around it. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And yeah, so let's get into it. All right. So of course, we are Starting with Jasmine. How are we feeling about Jasmine?
Ah, Jasmine, another kind of episode where you're kind of just in the background once again. But I get it. She's pregnant, She was there for Summer though, talked her down a bit. I give her a 3.
Okay. A 3. Oh, that's you. That's me. Oh shoot. A 3. So from that, I'm not giving her a 3. I'm gonna give her a 2. Because girl, like where were you? I need you to work the room. Okay? With this drama happening around you. At least Alex and Preston are asking, people who don't know what's going on, what happened?
Lauren,
I
she's
need more.
trying to be in her carefree pregnant bubble.
Well, not not for the summer.
It's not my business.
We trying to secure a spot. Okay, this is a show.
That is true. These are facts.
Like, I need that agency, so I have to give her a 2. And I don't know if you saw the interview with Carlos King. It did not help for me. I do like her. She's great, but I just need her to. Yeah. Okay. Amir.
Amir will get a 2.
Is he answering for Natalie's crimes?
Yes, because you brought this weird girl around us. And I just feel like he let that Mariah situation, that conversation drag out too long. Like it didn't have to be. Like I'm so tired of hearing about it. I'm like, you could have just deaded this from the beginning, and we could have missed that whole scene, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a 2 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that was too long. I mean, I think he did make a valid point though. Like, what do you want from me?
Points are valid, just unnecessary.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to ding. I have to ding Amir for again bringing Natalie. And I just think, yeah, I'm gonna give him a 2 as well. I'm gonna give him a 2.
Yeah.
People in the audience said Amir gets a 1.
I get it. We'll take it.
Understood. Because it is honestly Natalie.
You lose major points with the girl.
You do. I'm sorry. We have to drop you down for that. Okay, Jordan.
Jordan's a 3 for me. She didn't really do too much this episode, I don't think. But I appreciate, the way she handled the situation with Summer. So she got a point for that. I think, yeah, she's cooling. She gets a 3.
I'll be nice and give her a 3.
Good. Being nice.
I mean, she did nothing wrong this episode. It was a plus, but then I also kind of forgot she was here. But
exactly, yeah.
Solid
3.
The only way she would probably get a 5 from me is, again, if she reads Natalie for filth.
Oh, yeah. That would be the one time.
The one time. And that will be a Jordan stand, okay? So until then, she gets a 3. Preston for me, I mean, yeah, a 4.
Yeah, I agree. 4.
He was there. He handled the Summer situation. Good. There was nothing too much he did differently, but of course, he's gonna be one of at least my favorites on the show. So,
yeah, definitely a fan fave.
Definitely, Presty, our bestie. Miss Bria.
Let's hear what you got to say for Bria.
Oh, Bria get okay, because this is okay. So Bria, I didn't like how she handled the summer situation. Like, if you got a problem, let's talk about it. Don't play those games, childish games.
Mm-hmm.
How she acted with Nick was completely wild. Like, girl, you live in this house too. Unless you're gonna pay for a maid, don't be acting like that. Like, you made
Right.
this move, you can also help. Um, although she did recognize that Simon was wrong in that moment, it made it worse and still made attention on them because
Mm-hmm.
now people can hear you arguing. So dang, okay, I've talked it out. She's got a one. She's got to get a one.
Yeah,
She's got to get a one.
I think I agree. You nailed it on the head. And so on. That situation with Simon, I think, just brought her down to the floor. I agree.
Yeah, she. Ugh, I
Ciao.
feel like her score is consistently a one with us, but
I need to go back and look. I'm not sure. It's consistently low.
it's definitely low. But I mean, on the flip side of that, she brings drama to the show. I don't know if it's like positive drama. Like, I mean, I guess you do need someone. You need someone, but it's getting really annoying because it's not like there's no character growth.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. Nick, for me, I know Nick usually I think it's threes for me. I'm gonna go ahead and give Nick a four.
Okay. Okay. I see that. I see that. And I agree with that. I think based off of Nick showing us a different side of himself today, actually, and you know what? This will probably be the only time I give Nick a five. Because for one, I know. Who would have thought we saw today? I ain't even believe it. I don't even believe it. But look, Nick, for one, gave us that really touching, vulnerable moment. I enjoyed seeing that other side of him about the running the marathons. I didn't even know he did that. He said what we were all thinking when it came to the Mariah and Amir situation. Like, please, can we let this laundry die? And he threw to me, I thought Freak Nick was my favorite party, but I actually think this is like my favorite party of the season to date. So Nick gets that one time rare five for me.
Wow.
I didn't think I'd see the day, Lauren. I'm just as shocked.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not
You know I'm
mad
the
at
generous queen. I'm the generous queen.
you. No, but I did like seeing, like, Nick was very visible this episode, and I did like the scenes with Nick. And I don't know, I also find him a little bit more interesting when Tasha's in town.
Maybe that's it.
I
Maybe.
always, yeah, like I always,
Hmm.
I just think he needs to find his footing with the dynamic. Because I do like the archetype of Nick. It's
Mm,
very unique. It is very different.
mhm.
I just need him to
Yeah,
how does it work in this dynamic?
yeah,
And
yeah,
he
yeah,
has to solidify his role with the group.
yeah.
Um, in order for me to give him a 5. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. He got
I think
points for
this is as good as it's going to get for him. So that's why I gave him five now. I don't think he'll get any higher than this. So give it to him.
me.
I'm just being honest. I really don't.
This is one time only. Oh, okay, Alex. Dare I say, well, dang. Dare I say I give Alex a 4?
Hmm.
Or should it be a 3? I don't know.
I mean,
Only
did
because
Alex do much other than Shimmy in this episode? I don't remember seeing much from Alex.
There was, and that might be why the higher score.
Yeah, I think he just shimmied. That's all I kind of remember
He
him.
just shimmied. He did like say what he said about Summer. With like, okay, you can't keep using alcohol as an
Right,
excuse for bad behavior. He was pretty chill.
right. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. No, I'll do a 3 because he was.
Yeah, it's given 3.
Yeah.
It's definitely given
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. 3. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. I think that shimmy kind of got in my head a little bit. Not too much.
Right.
All right. Shanice. I always like Shanice. She's always a good time. She wasn't too much in this episode. I
Yeah.
kind of missed it a little bit
Yeah,
though.
me too.
Yeah.
I'll give her a 4 just because I missed her this episode.
Yeah. I'm with you. I
Yeah,
give her a 4 for sure.
yeah,
For sure. I would have liked to see more of Shanice.
yeah. Here
Little
we
Miss Summer.
Summer really tried to redeem herself this episode, so it's an A for effort. I think for me though, you just got to pay for that, and you just got to take that L and sit with this too.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, it's
You know what? I agree with that. And
yeah,
I mean, I did feel for her, but I have to really see how genuine it is.
yeah. And how long
'Cause
this
it
is gonna? Yeah,
Right, because it seems like we're always back in the same boat as far as her behavior towards other people. But I do, she's hurting, and
hmm,
and I do hope that she really does get some help,
hmm,
and she can have real support. But yeah, like it's still not an excuse to lash out at people and talk bad about people. And so I'm with you.
yeah,
She's getting it too, for sure.
yeah.
Noel.
Noel.
I say 4.
Yeah, I agree with that. She was lit at the party. She was lit today. She gave Summer some grace. And yes, she's testing that situation out. And I think what I like about Noelle is through it all, she's been a good friend to me, to like everybody. Like she's been a good friend in my opinion. Through everything, even in when times where she really was wronged. So I like Noelle. I said that from the beginning. I like Noelle, so it's a 4 for me. It's a 4.
She's definitely extended grace, and I'm hoping that we get to see. I want to see her activated. I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah,
Especially so maybe we'll see it at the reunion because she's definitely extended a lot of grace.
yeah.
I want to see her get activated, but I do like her. I think, like you said, she handled the situation with Summer beautifully,
Mm,
especially, but also like letting her know, hey, I'm got to set a boundary with you because I'm not doing this no more.
right.
So I definitely like her. I definitely like her with the dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Keep,
yeah, y'all need to keep her.
we love Noelle.
We do. We do. Well, that was our ratings for episode 7. Let us know in the comments, how did you feel about them? Did you agree? Did you think we were being too nice or too mean? We love to hear from you. Cuz yeah. We always like to hear what other people have to say. But yeah, so how are you? How many episodes do we have left? We're on.
That was episode 7, so I think 2 left, I believe.
Oh, it's 9.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Did they didn't say next week was the finale, so I'm guessing it's 2.
I think it is 9 episodes because they're on day 10, right? At 15,
No, I'm not sure,
I
girl.
think.
I
So
don't know.
it'll be coming up. Yeah, it'll be ending pretty soon, and then we finally get to the reunion.
That would be interesting, girl. Grab y'all
I'm
pop.
ready. I'm
Get
ready because there's tension.
let's put it out.
There, There is tension. So yeah, maybe next week as we get closer to the reunion, as episodes start to slow down, we'll, share some like behind the scene things that we're seeing on Twitter from the castmates and, our predictions on the seating charts. If you want to see my prediction on the seating chart, check me out on TikTok at the Lions Den podcast, where I give my predictions on what that will look like. And then also we can bring to this space the different looks that everyone had, which,
Yeah.
everybody was cute, everybody was nice.
Mm-hmm.
We can definitely talk about that as these episodes start to wind down. Any final thoughts, expectations that you're hoping from next week?
Like we said, we hoping someone reads Miss Natalie, even if it's not Jordan. Somebody check this girl, please.
I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Please,
We need it.
please,
We need it for the culture.
for the culture. Yep. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what next week and the reunion has.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Lions Den podcast. Make sure to follow us on all of our platforms. We will be having new episodes coming. Second half of Lions Den podcast that one will be on Spotify. We'll be back next week with another recap and review of Martha's Vineyard or Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Monday 8 o'clock. So please make sure to tune in. Again, I'm your host Loren, with joining me with Sierra, and you all have a good night.
Bye guys.